10.5 years ago, I came to Crossroads. It's a very small church, about 80 people. Over the next 8 years or so, God did amazing things. We went to where we had 3 services on Sunday morning because our previous building only sat about 375. So we had 3 services on Sunday morning. We knew we needed to do more because we were going to get stuck. We were going to stagnate at the size we were at, and we found a consultant a few years in because we were on 1 acre of land and a very small building trying to figure out what to do next.
We felt like we'd found a piece of property that would probably work. We began to look at it and realize we're going to be paying for this property for a while before we can even begin construction on it. Heard about development advisors and realized that we didn't have the time nor the expertise nor the contacts that we needed to be able to really go ahead with a project like this on our own. Every one of us had our own business or job responsibilities, and we just didn't have the time.
While it was exciting to have our people involved, we needed some experts, some people who really knew what they were doing to help us. We'd kind of hit a dead end. We were introduced to development advisors. They came in and listened to our ideas. Not long after they listened to our ideas, they said, I know you're looking at 20 acres of land and trying to build from the ground up, but the good news is there's some very large buildings that have been foreclosed on that you could buy for under market value. Have you considered buying a building and renovating it? If you did that, things would go faster.
Our philosophy was phase 1 was function. We just wanted to buy the property and function, move in and be able to do ministry at its basic way, because that's what we felt we could afford. They didn't fight us on that, they joined with us on that, and we accomplished that goal.
We moved into this building about 1.5 years ago and almost immediately went to 1,500 people. Went from a 375-seat auditorium to a 500-seat auditorium, but we had a larger lobby and more room for the kids. It still wasn't enough.
We grew so fast, it was like, wow, what do we do next? And so they came along and advised us at what our options were.
This September, the construction team, through development advisors guiding us, began tearing our auditorium apart to make it larger. And on December 14th of this year, our auditorium now seats comfortably 820, but for Christmas Eve, we had 960 chairs in here. And the last 4 weeks, we've been running between 2,100 and 2,200 people. People are coming to know Jesus. God is blessing.
We really feel that the building we are blessed to have today is an end result of the coaching and advising and directing, the people they brought to the table, networked with, the general contractors, subcontractors, all of that. We are in a facility today that we think we can do excellent ministry because of development advisors' partnership with us in the whole process.
They really did help us from A to Z, all the way from finding a facility to thinking through how to do a capital campaign, to finding people who would help us with bonds. That was the way we chose to fund our building.
I've been with multiple churches that have done building projects, and there's been times where we felt we were so constrained we did it all ourselves. And so we were our own general contractor. Big mistake. When it comes time to say how much money are we going to spend on consultants, probably the biggest savings for us was not how little we paid development advisors. It was the fact of their education and their experience saved us thousands of dollars and probably millions of dollars by what we didn't do and would have probably done had we been on our own, just using our own limited experience and focus along the way.
I remember the very first meeting we had with them, and I guess I'd have to say I was a little skeptical at the time. I was just trying to figure out, what are they going to do for us? How can they help us? And on top of that, they're going to charge us a little bit here for this. What they were looking for in a response financially for them was much less than what we could have done by just trying to do it ourselves and doing it at odd hours and pulling things together. Plus the fact they had the contacts and they had this expertise in an area that we knew nothing about, literally.
They brought 5 different general contractors to the table. And I had a sense that no matter which one we picked, it would be a company of integrity. It was comforting to know that they were on our side to represent us. And so their title of development advisor is a classic title. They are advisors, but they're expert advisors. They're not dictators. The communication with development advisors was always on top. I don't think I ever had a need that didn't get handled within hours in the whole process. Their commitment is to do business with excellence, and I think part of that is their personal relationship with God and the Lord that causes them to especially want to make sure a church is able to do ministry for His kingdom.
This was a challenge for me. We were sticking our neck out farther financially than we ever had. They were convinced our church could do it. I wasn't. In the times when I had doubts or concerns, I was able to talk directly to Scott or Tim and pretty bluntly say, I don't know if this is working, and they listened. Even though they had the confidence it was working, they listened to me, they helped, and the truth was they were right and I was wrong, and their help moved our church forward in amazing ways.